Gently close your eyes. Keep your spine naturally erect. Collapse your shoulders. Gently shift your focus towards your breath. Feeling the breath going in and coming out. Avoid all the other disturbances mentally, physically. Make yourself stable. We'll start with 3 Omkaras. Inhale slowly. Om. 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 Listen to the shloka from Valmiki Ramayana. Jayatyatibalo Ramaha Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha Raja Jayati Sugrivaha Raghavena Simple palming. Gently rub your both palms and heat apply it outer eyes, cheeks, front and back of your neck, and with a few blinks you shall open your eyes. We are going to focus on Bhagavad Gita, yet I somehow wanted this prayer to be started today. 2.10. We'll start from there. If you have the script, you can repeat after me. I'm anyhow going to say it twice. Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha Prahasanniva Bharata Prahasanniva Bharata Senayorubhayormadhye Senayorubhayormadhye Vishidantamidam vachaha Vishidantamidam vachaha. So this shloka is again said by Sanjaya, the minister with the powerful vision. He is again narrating what is happening. Vishidantamidam. He is seeing this sorrowful, suffering Arjuna. Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha. Looking at this suffering Arjuna, Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha is again another name for Lord Krishna. He starts to speak. Tamuvacha means starts to speak. Hrishikeshaha, again, I think I've explained this word quite a number of times, but still. Hrishikeshaha means a person who has subdued all his sense organs. Subdued all his sense organs into his heart. He knows his center. He knows him to be the center. That is Hrishikesha. That is Lord Krishna. And he starts to speak. Before starting to speak, what does he do? Prahasanniva Bharata. As if smiling, with a beautiful smile on his face. And while, when you are laughing and speaking, there is another note, no? Like that. No? That's the note that Krishna is having. Why is he laughing here? He is laughing because of the foolishness and timidity of Arjuna. That's quite very, very clear. It will be more clear with the next shloka also. But you have to understand what is the core essence of smile of Lord Krishna. The commentary says, smile of the Lord is the power of Maya. I'm giving a new terminology here. Terminology of Vedanta, terminology of yoga. What is Maya? Maya is the name of a woman? No. Maya means illusion. What kind of illusion? Illusion is only possible with scientific refraction terminology, refraction principles. When there is a state of refraction, you feel to see something which is not. We call it as Mirage, Mrigatrishna in Sanskrit. So while you are driving on the roads, it's quite hot during the peak summers. You seem to see few droplets of water at the edge of the road, and then you find out that there is no pool there. It was just a mirage, right? Vedanta and yoga speaks of this particular thing of high importance. Please do listen. From here on, Krishna is going to speak. You need to have a clear head to understand all these. I'm giving fundamental principles before you trying to understand, comprehend his exponentiation. So whatever that we grasp as information by our sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, whatever that we grasp as information is untrue. Why untrue? It is untrue like the mirage. Seconds ago, you felt there was a pool out there at the edge of the road. And then after driving a few miles, then you get to know, oh, there wasn't a pool at all. That was an illusion. That is the state of Maya we are all in. All the time do we see mirage? No. Mirage is that we see between ourselves. You see me as Lalita wearing violet sari in Indian form. You see yourself as Romanian, Transylvanian from Buzau. Someone else's daughter and someone else's son. This is the mirage that we live in, that we see. What is truth? That we see, that we look, that we hear, that we learn from the external senses are untrue is the fact. What is the essential core? Essential core of fact is we are all one. I'll give you an example. Not me. Again, a traditional example given by Adi Shankaracharya. So there is a small pot. Can you all imagine with me? Visualize a small earthen pot kept on the soil, kept on a feet. Okay. So the pot is empty and there is space inside the pot, right? There is space inside the pot. There is space outside the pot also. Yes. Yes. There is space inside the pot. There is space outside the pot. What happens when we physically die? What happens when the pot is broken? Which space is remaining, inside or outside? Or is there anything inside or outside? I'm not confusing you. Please pay close attention to what I'm saying. The pots that we see is the illusion. Essentially, the earthen pot is also the soil, right? We had made it as a circular one, made it as a cylindrical one, made it as a conical one, made it as an Indian one, made it as a Transylvanian one. Huh? When all the pots eventually break, we are all one. The same soil, the same space. There's nothing inside, outside. Nothing is broken. Nothing is destroyed. The core fact of Vedanta is that we are deathless. We are deathless. We are disease-free. We are wound-free. We are misery-free. We are sickness-free. Whatever is happening to the pot. The pot can be crackpot also, no? That's how Swami Dayananda used to say, we're all crackpots. Hence, we don't understand. Break the pot, then you will understand who you are essentially. That's our fundamental problem. Now, Krishna is laughing because Arjuna is constantly identifying him as the grandson of Bhishma, as the brother of his cousin brothers, constantly identifying himself as the greatest warrior. Yeah? Constantly identifying his name and form, and forgetting the duty that we have to put an end to this evilness. And this is the end time, without which the kings or the right kings or righteousness may not be prevailed. Right kings cannot get the empire. Hence, he is laughing at his foolishness, at his timidity. And he is saying that this is just an illusion. Maya it is. The smile of Lord Krishna is Maya, is the power of Maya. Haso janonmadakari cha Maya. The smile and the laughter of divine is nothing but the illusion, is nothing but the Maya. I'm thinking of saying a bit more about this. In the Indic wisdom, it is so nice that even we praise this Maya. We praise this illusion. We celebrate it. Oh, how is that? You have to break this illusion, right? To get wise. Why do you have to praise and why do you have to celebrate? We celebrate the power of illusion. It is because it is the divine power itself. Who is goddess? Who is Annapurna? We learnt mantras on Annapurne, Sadapurne, Shankara Prana Vallabhe. Yes, Zusha. Yes, Gabby. Yes, Alina. Yeah. Who is Annapurna? Who is goddess Parvati? Bhikshandehi cha Parvati. Parvati is the Maya goddess herself. When you do not revere and respect the power of divine, how will you recognize the divine? Hence, even the illusion is embraced. Even the illusion is celebrated. That's a bit high level high level kind of thinking. I'll stop there. Okay. So Prahasanniva Bharata. The smile of Lord is the symbol of Maya here, is a symbol of illusion here. He's saying, I am the cause of this war. I am going to be the end of the war. Nothing else is going to remain existing except for the space. The pot breaks, the soil goes into dust, the soil would be wetted by the river. Only the space exists. Only the divine exists. Hence, he is smiling. Senayor ubayor madhya. This particular beautiful smiling of Lord Krishna at Arjuna, who is suffering, who is weeping, who is lamenting, is happening between the two armies. Now, there might be a question arising in your head. So, people are saying, oh my God, 18 chapters, so many chapters. All these 18 chapters, this guy was asking question to Krishna, and this guy is giving long series of Exponentiation lecture series. How is this happening amidst warfare? What happened to the other fellows? Were they watching also? Were they not beating others? So, Krishna again played a game over here. What did he do? There was a pause of a time frame that happened. All these 18 chapters, the time literally paused. Everybody stopped to exist. Hmm? And there is another film coming up like Avatar from James Cameron of life pausing. Then you will understand. Oh, this was what Lalita was saying. Eventually, all Indian concepts are taken by these Western fellows. And then there is a new form of cinema, new form of film industry coming up. Hmm? So, just as parallel universe, multiverses exist, that is again an Indic concept, no? That has been shown by the Western films. Life also pauses, and that is in the hands of Lord Krishna. It's in the hands of Lord Almighty. It so happens with us also, We keep watching, oh my God, the time didn't go, is it? Sometimes it so happens. Sometimes it so happens that we feel time has gone so much, but it was there. Sometimes it becomes so boredom that time becomes very, very lengthy. It's all in the hands of your mind. It's all in the hands of the Almighty. So that's where I wanted you to clarify that even amidst armies, they were doing their conversation very, very peacefully. No sorts of disturbances, no cries, no beatings, no war happened in between. No conch blowing happened in between. Rishikeshaha tam vishidantamidam vacha. He started to speak to that suffering Arjuna. 2.11. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Ashocyananvashocastvam. Ashocyananvashocastvam. Prajnavadamsha bhashase. Prajnavadamscha bhashase. Gata sunugata Gata sunugata sumscha. Nanushocanti panditaha. Nanushocanti panditaha. After a long silence, Krishna starts to speak. See, for the entire first chapter, no speaking. Even in the second chapter starting, no speaking. The 11th shloka, he starts to speak. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan means Bhaga. The word Bhaga means culmination of all 6 qualities: abundance, prosperity, power, omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence, all things in abundance. That is Bhaga. Hence he is Bhagavan, hence he is Lord. The first word, it's like a pearl, To have lots and lots of conches and shells, only one small pearl comes out. After so many years, it's like a pearl of wisdom. The first word is that Ashochya. Ashochya means grieve not, worry not. That's how that's how the Almighty has to be. Ashochya, worry not, grieve not. But here, the mood is very, very different, okay? He is in the mood of scolding Arjuna. He is in the mood of beating him like anything. Why so? Arjuna was his friend, no? Was his cousin brother, was his counterpart, was the person whom he always holds his hand and walk by the ocean. That's how he was. He knows him very well. Suddenly something happened just because, it so happens when there is demise of some person that we love in the family, we suddenly change our behavior. It so happens, no? That's how grief struck he was. So his behavior changed, his intellect changed, his wisdom declined. He starts to speak. He's prattling, he is blabbering. Hence, Krishna is a bit in the mood of scolding him, giving him a blow. So he's saying, Prajnavadamsha bhasase. You are grieving for those people whom you should not grieve for. Prajnavadamsha bhasase. You are speaking as if you're the most highly intellectual fellow. But what are you doing? You're blabbering. You do not know what you are speaking. Gatasunu gatasumscha nanu shochanti panditaha. He is not seeding in anger or vengeance inside the head of Arjuna. He is saying you are grieving for those people whom you should not grieve for because only scholarly, wise people will not grieve for those who are dying and those who are living. Life and death, coming in and going out, is the general principle of this world. If you're going to grieve for those who are dead, if you're going to grieve for those who are living, you're the biggest foolish fellow. He's saying. I'm going to explain this. The entire class will be only this particular shloka. I'm very sorry about this because this needs extensive understanding. Before understanding this, I'm going to take up a small, Rama is not yet escaped from my head. So I'm taking up Valmiki Ramayana as an example. So I'm going to brief this. I do not know whether you know the story of Ramayana. Rama was given this banishment from the kingdom for 14 years by his own mother. Of course, not the real mother. The second mother. The second mother wanted her own son to be gotten to the throne, get the empire. Hence, she banished Rama for 14 years. He went for an exile. In the meantime, Bharata, his own brother, who has to get enthroned, comes back. He was out in his vacation. So he comes back and then gets to know all the details. He just says, why are you still alive? I do not know. He's asking his mother, why are you still alive? I do not know. You should have hung by yourself by now. For the all menial act that you have done, you are made your husband pass away because of this particular act. Because of this menial act, you have made all the peace of people's minds of Ayodhya to lose. By this time, you should have hung yourself. That's the last word he speaks, and then he leaves the kingdom, walks all the way. It's so much distance. I've just gone to Ayodhya, visited all the way to Chitrakuta to see how Rama is. And that particular time, Bharata is requesting Rama. Rama, it is the foolish act of mother. Every person in Ayodhya wants you as the king. You are the most righteous person. You're the most befitting person. You have to get enthroned. Do not worry about the satya, the promise. Do not worry about the uh, promise that you have kept. You just come. You just come. You feel you should do what the people of Ayodhya wants. They are your gods. That's how Bharata is trying to convince. He is crying, he is lamenting, he is pushing his head into the feet of Lord Rama and then crying, crying, crying like anything. On seeing Bharata first, he embraces and then keeps him on the lap like a small child. What do? Pick up the child and keep on the lap and then kiss him. That's how he does. And then he asked one question. Atmanam anushochatvam nanushocitumarhasi. You should worry for your own self, not for anyone else. Worry for your own self. That is all what I'm doing. I'm worrying for my own self. Why am I diabetic? Why am I getting headache? Why am I getting old? Why my joints are not properly functionable? Why my daughter is becoming hell to my life? Why my counterpart husband is not understanding me? This is what I'm doing. I'm already worrying for myself. Is that what Rama is saying? Worry for yourself that why are you still getting identified with your name and form? Worry for yourself. Why are you still not recognized as your truth extensively? Why do you not recognize yourself as the Akasha, as the space inside, outside the pot? Why are you entangled into the pot? You're still worrying about me? I am not worried about myself. Why? Because you are crying for an empire which is made up of castle filled with sand. One wind, castle is lost. My empire of truth which I am living with, nothing can destroy. Now, coming back to Bhagavad Gita. What was Rama saying? What is Krishna saying here? We all worry. We all lament. We all grieve. Only because of this body. No, I was crying heavily when my father departed, when my mother departed, when my husband departed, when my wife departed. Yes. Worrying or grieving is not a problem. It is a spontaneous reaction. But what is Krishna saying? Anushochanti. What is Rama saying? Anushochanti. Anu means grieving again and again. Being sorrowful again and again. That is the biggest roga. The biggest illness. What is this mind doing? Constantly putting you to grievance. Constantly making you to worry. You're not out of the circle. This is vicious circle. Once you're into this vicious circle, that's it. It drinks up the entire identity. So Krishna is saying, you are grieving for those whom you should not grieve for. Will you worry the pot is broken? Will you worry for the pot being broken? No. You will know the potter will make another. Perhaps it is not of the same size and the color. But you will not worry for. Why should you worry for your father? He will come again. Perhaps not in the same form, not in the same name, not in the same color. Yeah. That is exactly what Krishna is saying. Why are you worrying for Bhishma? Why are you worrying for Drona? They are all self-realized. They don't see them as bodies. In fact, there is no body, nobody. Nobody and no body. We are all existential truth, like that Akasha, like that space. Ashocyan anvashochastvam. You are grieving for those whom you should not grieve for. Pragyavadamscha bhashase. You are speaking as if you are an intelligent person. Who is an intelligent person? He is giving. He is giving the answer. Nanu shochanti panditaha. There is a problem with Hindi speakers. When we say Pandit, they understand it to be, him to be, a person who is scholarly, who knows Sanskrit well, who knows how to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat, Shrimad Bhagavatam, or Valmiki Ramayana, or Tulsi Ramayana, whatever it is. But it's not so. In Mahabharata, it is clearly said elsewhere, Shokasthana Sagasrani, Bhayasthana Shatani cha, divase Mudama Vishanti na Panditaha. For a weakling, for a less intelligent or a foolish person, Shoka, sorrow is in thousands of places in his life. Bhayasthana Shatani cha, fear is there in hundreds of places in his life. He is sorrowful for thousands of places. He is fearful for hundreds of places. Mudamavishanti. Only the fool will be sorrowful. Only the fool will be fearful. Na panditaha. One who is not fearful, one who is not sorrowful about life, he is pandita. Which means he is a self-realized soul. He is already an enlightened person. An enlightened person is a pandit. Not by birth, Arti and Neha. Not by creed, not by caste, not by the knowledge, not by the well-readedness that he has. So, Pandita, you become a Pandit, he says. You become a Pandit. They're all Kshatriyas, but he's saying you become a Pandit. Why so? Being sorrowful and fearful is an act of weakling. And weaklingness happens when you identify yourself with this body. Bhagavan Ramana, as everyone knows, had throat cancer, stomach cancer, sarcoma of stomach, of hands. My mother is also listening to me. It is said that he took the illness from his mother. He's a sage, so he can take that. He has this powers. He became weak. The sickness is treacherous. Everyone knows it. All the disciples who are ardent disciples of Bhagavan Ramana comes to him, see his state, see his dasha, gets very worried. His entire body has become skinny. Only bones are left, like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Same happens with Thakur also, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Guru of Swami Vivekananda. This disciple is asking, Bhagavan, how is this? Your face is bright like the sun. You're smiling in this particular sickness, which is very, very treacherous, which is very, very shaking. Yet, we can't see this. We are not able to see this. You know, the Gurostu maunam vakyanam shishyastu chinna samshayaha. He gives this unique medicine, unique therapy. He does not answer first. I think I've mentioned this a couple of times. Bhagavan Ramana definitely does not answer at any point of time, at any given question at that particular time. Why? So he does not know how to speak no. He goes to the state of Atmanubhuta, Atmagyana. He goes into the state of silence, and from there he tries to emanate that wisdom to the hearts of disciples. Only when you are silent, only when you have the capability of shunning down your mind, you'll be able to retrieve the wisdom first, and then comes the words of elixir. So he moves into the state of silence and then says, which means you're still identifying yourself as your body. Hence, you see me as this body. He's questioning. You see me as this body? You see, you see your guru as this body? He's asking. At that particular time, the disciple was enlightened. That silence emanated, that Atma Bodha emanated from his heart to his disciples. It is the same in the Buddhism. Even Gautama Buddha also speaks the same. Dukkha samudaya, dukkha karana. He has four, 5 different principles. He speaks of the same Vedantic principles, but in a different language, I should say. Prakrita. He says, when there is headache happening to your body, you see that headache with the power of observation. What is power of observation? Power of observation is by being a third party observing what is happening. I'll give you an example. If there is a turmoil happening in your friend's house, she comes and speaks to you. You're the wisest person giving her the best suggestion, the best idea, the best solution. Why and how? Because it is not happening to your family. It is not happening at your house. When the same happens to our house, what happens? You get attached, you feel the suffering, you feel the illness, you feel the sickness, you feel the pain, and you're miserable. There is no third party activity. There is no best suggestion coming from the intellect happening. There is no best idea of solution coming out from you. Why? You're the first person here. So, Buddha says, observe the suffering. Observe the pain. When you observe, then you will slowly understand pain is not happening to me, but to the mind. Suffering is not occurring to me, but to the body. It is there in your head. It is there in the core of your heart, in all of our hearts. How am I speaking such? What happens to a person? What happens if my hand is cut? Okay, amputated. I got struck with a bad accident and my hand is amputated. And then with all those procedures, I am back with half hand. So with half hand, when I address you, will I be saying Lalita minus half hand or I minus half hand? No, no. I will still say I. When there is anything deficient happening to the body, you know it is just the body and it is not I. You are still I. So you know in the core of your heart, I is not my body. It is the same with your mind. Slowly, when you move yourself from these layers that you've got, the physical body layer, the vital energy layer, the mental layer, the astral layer that you've got, move towards the core self that is Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha, which means the sheath, the blissful sheath. Where is it? Somewhere up in the seventh heaven? No, no. Not amidst clouds. No. It is inside you. And it is there. And you get to know it when you see the sun rising at 6 a.m. from the ocean. There you find the bliss. There you trigger that layer. You know it is there inside. Because sun is not giving you anything. The vision of sun rising is not making you millionaire or billionaire. It's not feeding your stomach. Yet you're happy. How is this possible? Yes, it is possible because it is triggering your Anandamaya Kosha. When you're towards nature, it happens. And hence we celebrate power of illusion, Maya, goddess Parvati. Sorry. Sorry. Prakriti, earth, universe, everything is power of Bhagavan, power of Almighty. When you are close with Him, you get to resonate with His bliss. And it is there inside. It's not outside. It is not in accomplishment of anything. Shrimad Bhagavatam ends with a statement. Shrimad Bhagavatam is not Bhagavad Gita. It is another Vedantic scripture talks about the glories of Lord Ramayana. Rama, Krishna, all the stories comes up. Shuddham Vimalam Vishokam Amritam. When you know you're the truth, the first thing that you are is you are pure and pristine. How so? Vimalam. There is no dirt of ego there. What is ego? This is me. This is mine. What is ego? So when the dirt of ego is removed, Vimalam. Vishokam, you become sorrowless. Amrutam, you become deathless. You are immortal. How is this possible? I'm going to die by 80 years, 70 years. If we are fortunate, by 45 years. Death is only to the body. Coming back. Death is only to the body. You are the space inside, outside the pot, dear. Never allow the cracked pot to come up. Shuddham, Vimalam, Vishokam, Amritam. When you drink the nectar of truth, when you stay in the Anandamaya Kosha, in the blissful sheath, the blissful layer, and do not swerve away from the Atmanubhuti, protect your Atma Bodha, the realization of self, you are miseryless. You are sorrowless. I think I have finished Pandita Nanu Shochanti. Yes. Was one particular thing. Gata Sonu Agata Sumscha. I have to explain that particular thing and then I'll finish this. Gata Sunu means that which comes in. Agata Sunu, that which goes out. Krishna is saying, you are talking about, you are grieving for, you are lamenting upon those people. In those bodies, prana comes in and goes out. Energy comes in and goes out. When the energy comes in, there is birth. When the energy goes out, there is death. When the potter has the access of good soil, water, he can make the pot. When person like Lalita comes, she can break. No? The pot can come, the pot can break. Eventually, it is all the sand, it is all the soil. Right? So even if the prana comes in and comes out, the Pandita, the scholarly people, the wise people like Ramana Bhagavan, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa, like Swamiji, will not see the name and form. Will not see you. Even if they say you, even if you are fortunate to see them, yeah, even if they see you, they will not see you as the name and form. They will see you as the existential truth. They don't see the prana that comes in and comes out. Where does the problem arise, my dear? When you see the person as your uncle, as the person who had dominated you for years together, then there arises irsha, there arises anger, there arises trouble, problem. When you see your mother, the lovely face, the vatsalya, the affection, then there arises attachment. But when you see those persons, the uncle and the mother, I'm taking as examples, so it can be anyone, X, Y, Z. When you see the uncle and the mother, not as the name and body and the form, but as the existential truth, who is enemy, who is near and dear relative to you? How will a person can create anger and sorrow inside your heart? You tell me. A devotee of a Lord, he sees everything as the form of the Lord. It is easy for him. He is being imprisoned, he is happy. Rama wants me in a prison. Good, I have got all the times to write poems, Sanskrit poems on Rama. Rama wants to rule, become the treasurer. Good, I'll do all the duties. Let me use the treasure money to feed the people, to make temples, to extend architecture, arts, dance, music forms. That's how a devotee is. There's no difference between a saint and a devotee. A saint sees everything as the existential truth. A devotee sees everything as Lord Rama, as Lord Krishna, as Lord Shiva, as Jesus, as Allah. I think I've done. Questions. Just a moment.